Good morning, entrepreneurs, and welcome to show number 152. Happy Friday, August 7th, 2026. And I am your host, Kim White. I am joined by the beautiful Jill Olish. Good morning, Jillo.
Good morning, Kim. I am so glad to be hosting with you today. And I am glad that you watching have joined us this morning too. If you're an entrepreneur or a business owner who's juggling a lot and wants your business to feel lighter, clearer, and more doable, this show is for you. GME is for real life entrepreneurs who are tired of being talked at and would rather have honest conversations, practical help, and a little fun while they build. Every show, our roving reporters bring different angles on business and life so you don't have to figure it all out alone or from a highlight reel. We are very easily enabled to do that. So here on GME, we like to say we live in entrepreneur land. It's that wild place where your brain never really clocks out. Your to-do list is never finished, and you're somehow the boss, the team, and the tech support all in one. So let's really jump into today's show.
Today's theme in that wild place, I love that explanation, is CEO habits. So CEO habits are simple habits around planning, around money, and around focus that actually move the business forward. This theme is about behavior, not motivation.
Okay, when I think about CEO habits, I think about simple rhythms that work in real life, especially if you're also juggling a family. It's less corporate boardroom and more, did I make one decision today that moved my business forward on purpose? It's the routines that help you stop reacting and start leading. Things like maybe a weekly CEO check-in, maybe reviewing what's working before you add more, and choosing your next step instead of letting your inbox choose it for you.
Great examples. Stick around to the end of the show because we have a sexy challenge for you today. In less than 3 minutes, you can go from feeling like an overwhelmed freelancer to a calm, clear CEO of your business. I can't wait to share the challenge with you, sweet viewers. Every week, we spotlight what's happening inside the community by sharing the GME Chronicles. It's the milestones we've hit, the goals we've reached, and the momentum we're building. We're not here to flex our muscles and show off. We're here to celebrate and to give you proof that real people just like you are doing this. So let these wins encourage you, not intimidate you. And if it's possible for us, it's possible for you too.
Thank you, Kim and team. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the GME Chronicles. I am Jill Olish, and I've got your community updates. The GME Chronicles is our space to celebrate how we're moving the needle in our businesses. We share these numbers out loud, not to show off, but to show what's possible when we build and grow together. To catch you up, here's what's been happening around the community. Our leaders and creators have been hosting classes, workshops, and gatherings that keep us moving forward in life and business. Take a look at some of the events and activities from this week. Inside My Sexy Business, the community has been buzzing with masterminds, live sessions, and special gatherings to support you as you build a business you actually want to own. Here are a few of the highlights from this week in the My Sexy Business community. On the content front, we saw new releases from our writers and creators, adding more stories, strategies, and support for you to plug into throughout the week. On the live stream front, our community has been showing up with live shows, special events, and new clips, including broadcasts from My Sexy Business on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to the My Sexy Business YouTube channel so you never miss an upcoming show or new clips. On the podcast side, head to your favorite podcatcher to listen in to these shows hosted by podcasters from the community. You can connect with all of the roving reporters through the GME directory. Just head over to mysexybusiness.com/GME and look for the big red button. Check out the amazing total for this week and our grand total, all done collectively by this community in just 4 years and counting. We're looking forward to sharing even more updates next week. If you are ready to join in on the fun around here, we invite you to join us at these events, activities, and inside the My Sexy Business community. Back to you in the GME studio.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh my goodness. It's hard to believe that number just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
I know. And it's pretty important to us in the community and special to talk about it right now in this moment, today or two. And this brings us to our shout out for the day, or milestone, really, I think is a better way of putting it. Kim, it's the anniversary of something really monumental that happened in your life and in the My Sexy Business team's life. Back in August of 2020, August 10th, 2020, you survived COVID, and it was a really challenging time for the team. And I'm going to say it from my personal experience because you disappeared on me, and I still cry about it to this day. But you came back, and you came back stronger than ever. And it's pretty impressive, some of the things that we'll talk about now.
I think it's one of those moments that we want to share because a lot of times we count ourselves out. We count ourselves over, like, especially as older entrepreneurs like I am, that can we really come back from something that has happened? You know, maybe it's a failure of something, maybe it's a bad decision, maybe it's a illness, you know, whatever it is, we question that. And I think this is a living proof example of it was just the next chapter. It wasn't the end of me. Thankfully, it wasn't the end of me. It was the next chapter starting. And since that happened, it's been amazing to see all the things, all those numbers that are represented in the Chronicles all happened after this incident. It actually all happened after. So I think it's almost the, you know, before COVID and after COVID kind of thing. Before COVID, strong and powerful and doing things. And after COVID, I didn't even know if I could walk again. Mm-hmm. So to come back and have such an amazing recovery and be able to share it. And Jillo, I hate that I scared you. This was an example of not being prepared enough. Because when Jill says I disappeared, I when I went to the emergency room, I didn't know I wasn't coming back. I didn't know I was headed to the ICU. I didn't know all of that stuff. But since then, I want to talk about the good stuff. Since then, we have actually had over 70 rounds of mastermind groups. We have had over 1,000 sessions of mastermind. since then, like not before that. I'm talking since then. That is how much we have done. And I'm so proud of that part.
Yeah. And this is not an isolated event. You're not the only one that went through this. There are so many people affected by what happened that year and the years after. And I think it's a great way to share that you can just see it as a next chapter and start, even if you're starting from zero again, which we did. I hope that this will be the encouragement and the example that you too can follow, not just because of COVID, but because of any life-changing event.
So true. And thank you. And I think I'm proud this the most today of us not crying our way through that, because this is very emotional for Jill and I. So we didn't cry. We can tick that up to a milestone too. But to get us started, we're going right into the foundation of, CEO habits don't have to be complicated or fancy. In fact, the ones that grow your business are often the simplest ones. Our first roving reporter is also my beautiful co-host, Jill. She is here with her segment on Mama Entrepreneurs, but today's topic is simple CEO habits for busy moms, talking about the small, consistent rhythms that quietly move your business forward.
Thanks, Kim. CEO habits don't have to be complicated. The habits that grow your business are often the simplest ones. I think we tend to overthink what it takes to move forward in our businesses, where consistency in small actions matter more than big bursts. I love the Buckets and Boom Gates episode that I got to record with Kim White, episode 116, which talks exactly about this, about how we want to not do the hustle in doing these big bursts, but actually implement habits along the way that help us grow. So things like showing up, usually that means we are following through with what we say we're doing. I love the implementation of having a business meeting, a CEO meeting with myself each week to keep up on what is happening in my business, where we can actually focus on what actually moves things forward in business. Because it's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters consistently. If you get the chance to go take a listen to the BBG episode, again, it's 116. It has tons of tips on doing more about this. Back to you in the GME studio.
Well, I know I said it, but I love that I said CEO habits isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters consistently. Helps me remember this, and that it's awesome to be a CEO, because even one weekly CEO meeting with myself or yourself can make you feel less like you're chasing your business and more like you're actually leading it.
Yeah. Not the dog chasing its tail, or the tail chasing the dog, CEO habits are systems you can repeat, not spur the moment hustle. And I think, Jill, you have such a great example in your book. Mama Outspoken is the title of the book. Y'all can get it on Amazon or at mamaoutspoken.com. But the book took habits that you had to overcome things because it's a very vulnerable telling. It's a story of what happened when you actually had a baby during the pandemic, which we were just talking about, and started a business at the exact same time.
Yeah. I think CEO habits is also very closely related to having discipline. And that's what it took to write the book, because it could have taken me, years. Instead, it took me a very much shorter time because I instilled a lot of these kinds of CEO habits.
You did a great job of them, I will say. But Amazon, mamaoutspoken.com, go get your copy and see how amazing Jillo is.
Thank you, Kim. Well, as you start to put simple CEO habits in place, not just like I've done, but there's also another piece that matters just as much, and it's how you spend your time and energy. If everything in your business lives in one big messy pile, it's hard to know what to even bring to that CEO meeting. And I can tell you, it is hard to sift through that if you're not prepared. But that's why we love the Buckets and Boom Gates podcast. It's all about protecting your time, your money, and your bandwidth so you can run your business like a CEO instead of letting it run you.
I think a great example is how a CEO calendar reflects priorities, not other people's emergencies. And these are some of the things we talked about in this episode. It is episode 125, Buckets and Boom Gates. We talk about CEO habits keep you moving when motivation disappears. So it's a great episode and a great conversation with you, Jillo.
Yeah. And I think I mentioned episode 116 in my segment. So there's 2 CEO habits episodes. So listen to both of them. And you can check out BBG on your favorite podcatcher for more real life business conversations with Kim and I. Well, if you've been craving more order and less overwhelm, shows like Buckets and Boom Gates can help you think differently about how you handle your time. But there's a deeper shift underneath all of this. Actually seeing yourself as the CEO of your business, not just someone trying their best. Our next roving reporter, Yvonne Marchese, with her segment, Entrepreneurship Later in Life, in Run Your Business Like You Mean It, she talks about the mindset and simple habits that help you step into your CEO role on purpose.
Thanks, Kim. This is Yvonne Marchese, your resident age agitator, here to talk about later in life entrepreneurship. One of the mindset shifts that changed things for me was deciding to actually act like a CEO of my own business. Not just somebody who's muddling along and doing their best. I didn't come from a business background. What I'm learning is that CEO habits, they aren't complicated. They're simple, consistent behavior that move your business forward. There are things like reviewing your numbers on a steady schedule, even if they're small. That's blocking time for your most important work before your inbox takes over. It's making decisions based on data, not just feelings. And these habits, they don't require a big team or a big budget. They require intention. Later in life, we're actually well suited for this. We know how to be disciplined. We've managed complicated lives. You might need to give yourself more credit for that at this point. So bring that same capability to your business. Treat it like it matters, because it does. That's all for now. Back to you in the GME studio.
Such great encouragement. Yvonne shows that CEO habits don't require big teams or budgets. They require intention. I love that later in life, we're better equipped for that too. And we want to make sure we're reviewing our most important work before emailing or making decisions from data instead of just feelings, and bringing all that life experience with you into your business. They're such powerful CEO moves. I love that she shared that today.
I love it too. Again, CEO habits turn chaos into a clear plan for the day, the week, and the month. So you're not blown in every direction because you feel a certain way.
Definitely. And I think actually Yvonne's podcast, Late Bloomer Living podcast, for us, kind of behind the scenes, I'll give this little tidbit, is a great example of being CEO when she shares her processes. So we kind of get to know a little bit more about that on that side, but go listen to this podcast because she doesn't just show her qualities as being a CEO in her business, but she shows all of her interviewees and what they've done to get into this position as well.
I love it. It's a binge-worthy, award-winning podcast. We want to say all of that because that's part of the proof, I guess, the street cred. If you need to know to go watch something for great value, there's the one, latebloomerliving.com, Late Bloomer Living on all the podcatchers.
Yes.
So see, habits turn someday ideas, which we all have, into scheduled non-negotiable work blocks. I think this is a very important part of what we talk about in Sticky Note Time, Jill, is, taking those time blocks and making your time actually work for you, not against you.
Yeah. And once you start acting like the CEO, you realize a lot of your day is made up of kind of unglamorous tasks. That doesn't mean that they're not important. It just means that they need a different kind of energy behind them. Our next roving reporter, Adam Rothenberg, with his segment, Entrepreneurs in Entertainment, he has a conversation with Rachel Sage, and he is going to share how turning grunt work into creative work in their conversation can change how you show up as a CEO.
Thanks, Kim. It's Adam. And for today's Entrepreneurs in Entertainment segment, I wanted to spotlight my 2024 interview with alt pop singer songwriter and record label owner, Rachel Sage. In this clip, I love how Rachel talks about the joy she gets from working with the team and trying to find ways to make the daily tasks of running a business not seem so mundane. I want everyone watching and listening to know you do run your own record label.
Yeah, I do. And when I did start my own label, I was almost surprised how enjoyable I found certain aspects of marketing and photo shoots and writing PRs in the middle of the night. I have a love-hate relationship with a lot of that grunt work, but more heavy on the love. And I really try to think of every aspect of running a label and working with a team, working with other artists as just as creative as writing music. And I think that's sort of like a little mental trick to keep it from feeling like a grind. Easier said than done, but it works a lot of the time.
I hope what Rachel had to say reminds you of the importance of having a community you can turn to for help, and that we all need to find ways to make the boring tasks of running a business more fun. And that is today's Entrepreneurs in Entertainment segment. It's back to you in the GME studio.
Adam and Rachel are great examples of what it looks like when you get those habits in place. So CEO habits are usually the boring daily moves that quietly build serious businesses. And I think they both have done that.
Yes. Adam's segment here and his conversation with Rachel is such a fun and good reminder that the grunt work doesn't have to feel like a grind. So when you're bringing creativity and joy into the behind the scenes, it becomes a CEO habit that keeps you and your team moving instead of burning out.
I love it. Well, I'll tell you something that Adam really labored on habits and did very, very well, and that's create his book.
Yeah.
He literally shared stories that were behind the curtain stories, hence the name. But I think it's an important thing for everyone to recognize. A book looks lovely and flashy on, when it's done and on the outside, like yours, Jill, and everybody else's that have, they've written a book. It is all the habits that got it there, though. And it's not sitting somewhere with dust on it where it's not completed. Adam really shared a lot of behind the scenes, behind the curtain stories. He shared a lot of memorabilia in the book. It's a great book. So if you don't have your own copy, you can get an autographed copy. I will say that that's a collector's item. But if you want to go to Amazon and get an unsigned copy, you also can do that. But go to callmeadam.com or Amazon and get your copy of Behind the Curtains with Adam Rothenberg.
Yes. He not only had to do his own CEO habits to get that book written, but he kind of gives you an insight as to the CEO habits he has for his business in being an interviewer. So it's kind of cool to get that insight.
And he's responsible for over 4 million visitors. So I feel like that's another thing too, is there's a lot that goes into it, and Adam is doing the work.
Yeah.
But CEO habits protect deep focus time, which is what it took to get the book out, like it's money, because it can be. That's one of the tricks to CEO habits. But I do want to remind everyone that though you can make more money, you can't make more time. So time is actually worth more than just money. I want to make sure everybody remembers that for their habits.
Yeah, of course. And all of that creative effort, decision-making, and leadership has to come from somewhere. And that somewhere is your body. Packed calendars, back-to-back meetings, and running on fumes might look like hustle, but they are not sustainable CEO habits. And our next roving reporter is Kat Corchado with her segment, Health and Wellness for Entrepreneurs, with Your Body is a CEO Asset, talking about why real CEOs lead from a healthy, energized body.
Thanks, Kim. Let's talk about two words you don't usually hear with health and wellness. CEO habits. We think CEO habits are all about strategy, systems, and hustle. Calendars packed, meetings back to back, phone in our hand 24/7. Somewhere in there, we start believing that taking care of our body is extra. Something we'll get to once things slow down. And you and I both know they rarely slow down. So I want you to start seeing your health as a core CEO habit. You know, the truth is your business runs at the speed of your body. If you're exhausted, stiff, foggy, or running on fumes, that shows up in your decisions, your creativity, and your bottom line. CEO habits sound like this. I protect my sleep because my brain is my business asset. I move my body because energy is my competitive edge. This isn't about perfection. It's about small, consistent, powerful choices. So today I want you to pick one CEO habit, a walk between calls, a real lunch away from your screen, because you're just not running a business. You're leading a life, and real CEOs lead from a healthy, present, and energized body. So back to you in the GME studio.
I love that. You know, another part that I think a real CEO, they don't wait to feel ready. They run their habits on schedule. And Kat has influenced a lot of CEOs, including me, to take care of their bodies better. It's always amazing to see how that creates more successful businesses too. Like they're connected, Jill.
Yeah. Kat reminds us that taking care of your body is not extra. I love that she said that because it doesn't cost us extra to take care of our bodies when we're doing it simply either. That it's a core CEO habit. And protecting your brain and your energy doesn't slow your business down. Sometimes we feel like we could be so slow if we're resting or taking care of ourselves, but it protects our decisions, our creativity, and your bottom line, which really helps us gain more momentum when we're doing that. So I thought at first I was missing her stretches in this season, but we can catch those stretches in the 11-minute fitness challenge that she holds. So if you too were like, oh my gosh, where's my cat stretch? Go visit Kat at smallspacepilates.com and join the 11 minutes fitness challenge, because that too is going to be something that is not extra in helping you get yourself more energized and protecting your body to be a better CEO.
I love that you mentioned that. And I want to make sure any new viewers, Jill, know what we're talking about, because Jill, for many, many shows, has given us literal stretches for our bodies who sit in front of the screen too much. And so that's what Jill is referring to. And if you want to go back to any of the previous shows, you can actually go back and, you know, find some of those stretches too that Kat has helped all of us. I still think about the one where like you're bending.
Yep.
That feels so good. And Kat's the one that taught us all how to do that. So just wanted to let everybody know that doesn't know about the stretches. They're there, y'all.
They are. So yeah, go join probably a lot of us from the show and the community at the next 11-minute fitness challenge. Go sign up. It's free. smallspacepilates.com and get your 11 minutes in.
Yeah.
It's pretty powerful.
Get started, y'all.
Yeah.
Didn't have to wait for a Monday either.
And while I miss those stretches in the show, it's also super powerful what she has to share this season. So, so grateful for Kat's perspective on our bodies. And as you start treating your body like a real CEO asset, something else shifts. You have more bandwidth to think clearly about your business instead of just reacting to it.
Yeah. And a CEO doesn't hope for growth. They build habits that force growth to happen. And I think that's an example of it forces us to have more bandwidth, which is lovely.
Yeah. And that's exactly the kind of conversations we're going to be having, or usually have, in our community roundtable conversations. The next one is on Friday, August 28th, hosted by Adam Rothenberg, and the topic is captivating.
Love this topic, Jill. And I know you know this story, but I'd love to share with the viewers. Captivating is actually one of the words I used to describe a business I wanted to build. And I will share during the roundtable the quick story of how that one little word actually helped create a legacy business, which is still going strong today. I think that's something that comes out of these roundtables is, ideas and inspiration, all kinds of things come out of this. And I appreciate the conversations.
Yeah, they're really good conversations. And this is your invitation to join us. We'll be meeting inside the My Sexy Business community online at 8 a.m. Mountain, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern on that August 28th. It's a great place to bring your real questions, hear other entrepreneurs' perspectives, and practice these as CEO habits together instead of trying to do it all in your head.
The QR code is to join the community. You can also go to the front page of mysexybusiness.com. We feel like it's an important space to build together because it really does make a difference. The community is a free online community, but if you want to be part of the conversation, come and join us for the table. You're tuning in to Good Morning Entrepreneurs, show number 152. Today's theme is CEO habits. So subscribe to the channel wherever you're watching or listening. You could just be listening. It really helps the show and other entrepreneurs find us. So if you haven't already reached out to any of the roving reporters, I also want to say make a plan to email or message whichever one you resonate with the most, because they're amazing humans and wise business owners. They have a lot to share.
Well, we've been talking all about CEO habits today, so it's the perfect time to tackle a question a lot of you might be asking quietly as you're listening and watching today.
Or loudly.
Yeah, you might be screaming at the TV right now. Well, let's see. So for our question of the week, we're getting straight to the heart of it. Am I still a CEO if I'm the only one in my business?
I love this question, and I'm going to give a funny example. I did podcasting for 3 years before I ever called myself a podcaster. Mm-hmm. And I think this is the same example. You can be running a business and not realize you are the CEO. So you're absolutely still a CEO, even if you're the only one in your business. CEO isn't about how many people you manage. It's about the role you play. If you're the one setting the vision, making the key decisions, and carrying the risk, you are the chief executive officer, my sweet friend, of your company. So even if the team right now is just you, it's legit. Mm-hmm. Here's how you know for sure. If your business completely succeeds or totally fails, whose name is ultimately on it? Because let me just say, if the honest answer is it's your name, it's yours, then yes, you are the CEO. So don't wait for a bigger team or a fancy title. Start showing up and making decisions like the CEO you already are.
Mm-hmm. When I think about it, CEO isn't about how many people you manage. It's about how you're thinking and making decisions. And when you give yourself space to review, plan, decide on purpose, and build simple habits that move things forward, you are acting like a CEO long before you ever hire a team.
I love that. We may have a big team now, but we didn't always. So I think that that's a great point. But CEOs track actions that move sales, that move revenue, move money, not just tasks that fill time. It's not about the being tasky, y'all. And we know that's a made up word, but we like it. It's not about being tasky. It's about being responsible.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And once you settle into the fact that you are the CEO, even as a company of one, the question becomes, how do you lead well? Whether you have a full team or you're working with one person, leadership is a habit too. Our next roving reporter, Donna Bender, in her Surprise and Delight marketing segment, shows what it looks like when business owners stay connected to strategy instead of handing it off and hoping for the best. Let's hear what she has to say in The Importance of Empowering Marketing Teams.
I love working with teams and getting them to understand how planning, how timing could be beneficial to their bottom line.
I had a conversation with somebody this week, and I was asking them about marketing, and their answer was, our marketing team does that. I don't have anything to do with that. As the owner of a business, as the leader, not having something to do with it and not understanding the strategy, I believe is a waste of time, effort, money, all the things. As a business owner, we need all we can get. Having you come train their marketing team is one thing, but if you don't have a marketing team, Donna is your marketing team.
I like to get into the trenches of everything and be able to share that information so that my clients really shine. I work with a lot of marketing people and marketing teams, and my goal is to make them look like the hero. I want their boss to come back to them, oh my God, you did such a great job. They can have all the credit. I just want to help them achieve what they want to do. Having somebody on your side, giving you the ins and outs that you wouldn't know if you were going online looking for something. Having a relationship with a person who knows what works, what's coming down the pike. That's all the things I love to share.
Oh, Donna is such a great reminder in how powerful this can be for marketing teams. We're just a team of one who is the marketing team. When you get in the trenches with your marketing team or partner or by yourself at your CEO habit meeting, share what's really working and think ahead with them. You're practicing CEO habits that make everyone look like the hero, not just you.
So one thing I believe, Delo, about successful CEOs is that they're great leaders. And I know you have won awards based on your leadership, which I think is amazing, but that can be like flashy on the outside, it feels like. Just so y'all know, some of the awards are sitting up behind her head. But, whenever you see those things, that is flashy. But the outcome of that actually came from all the behind the scenes habits and highlighting others, which I think is one of the sexiest things we get to do around here. We get to highlight Donna because Donna is very strategic in what she shares.
Yeah. And she does a great job in helping those teams of one who don't have a dedicated marketing team learn more about marketing. I know that's where I go to learn how to even market my business. And you can go to her YouTube channel at Donna Bender Giving and watch her, the big show and tell. She's got all of her past ones. She just had one, was it last week? Was her most recent one, July 28th, I think it was the date. Go back, watch that. Some of the other ones. She does this show quarterly now. So you have time to go back and look at all the tips that she has on how to market your business, how to surprise and delight your employees or your clients, and really highlight others. So that way you're building relationships, which is a CEO habit.
If you want big marketing and branding results, go watch Donna.
Well, we've talked about leading people well. Now let's talk about leading your visibility well. A lot of entrepreneurs treat being findable online as a one-time project instead of as a set of simple CEO habits.
Every CEO habit says the same thing. This business is not a hobby. It's not a side gig that you're just kind of playing around with. It's for real.
Seriously, for real. Our next roving reporter is Denise Millay with her segment, Helping Entrepreneurs Be Findable Online. And she's coming with everyday SEO habits for CEOs, showing how small daily actions can quietly boost your search traffic.
Thanks, Kim and team. Let's talk about CEO habits that quietly boost your search traffic. Most people think SEO is this big technical project you tackle once a year, but for most solo CEOs and small teams, it's actually built in the daily habits. Here are 3 simple habits that make a real difference. First, capture the exact words your audience uses. Every time someone sends you a question in an email, DMs, or comments, save it in a document. Those raw, unpublished questions are future keywords and titles for your content. Second, build a content review habit into your week. Set aside a few minutes to look at which pieces got the most views, replies, or saves. Those are the things you expand on. Third, decide in advance that every major decision or experiment in your business gets documented publicly. If you're launching an offer, running a test, change your process, search engines love fresh, specific, real-world content. You don't need to become an SEO technician. You just need a few CEO-level habits that treat your everyday work as content. When you do that, your search presence grows as a side effect of running your business thoughtfully and consistently. Back to you in the GME studio.
She's so brilliant. I just have to say that out loud. But, CEOs really look at their numbers regularly instead of guessing how business is going. And I think SEO falls in that category too, Jill.
100%, I think. And Denise makes it clear that your work is your content. And which I really like, if you're looking for content ideas, just use your own work, right? So you're capturing the exact words your audience uses or scheduling time to review what's working and also publicly documenting your big decisions. You're building an SEO engine out of your everyday CEO habits.
And CEO habits turn someday I'll do this, into scheduled non-negotiable work blocks. Like Denise suggests, Tuesdays as your SEO day. Because the podcast drops on Tuesdays, she answers 5 questions. You literally can implement things every Tuesday as a habit that will move the needle for you being found. And I love her quote, they can't find you, they can't do business with you.
Yeah. What I love about her habit built podcast, really, like for not just herself, but for all of us listening too, is that it's short. And that's one of the key things about our CEO habits is that they're not meant to be these long drawn out project habits. They're supposed to be things that we are wanting to come back to do weekly. And this is one of those podcasts that you'll want to come back to weekly and make sure you work on your SEO.
Love it.
Mm-hmm. Well, as your visibility grows because you're watching and listening in to Denise's tips on SEO, it might be a little easier for your to-do list to explode. So we got to watch out because this is when CEO habits and clear mission actually matter the most. And I have to say, we are also really grateful to be able to include our next segment, Military Minute, with Kat Corchado, which is sponsored by her and her podcast, Sisters in Service Podcast. In today's Military Minute, Kat is sharing mission-focused CEO habits and how breaking big projects down into simple steps keeps you moving without burning out.
Kat, I've heard you say that the military teaches you to be mission focused. How does that mission mindset show up when you're building offers or serving clients or making decisions in your business?
Oh, the same way it showed up in the military. The military taught me how to break things into steps and then put the steps all together. Or like doing a phase 1. What are you going to do first? What are you going to do second? And business is like that too. You can't take a huge project and just, eat it so to speak, like an elephant. You have to take one bite at a time. So for me to build that step at a time till I get to the end is what the military taught me and has served me well as an entrepreneur in this community.
I love it, Kat. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Kat's military mindset is such a good picture of CEO habits. You don't tackle the whole mission at once. You break it into clear phases and take that next right step.
Well, CEOs make tiny, consistent decisions about money and time and focus and planning and all of those things instead of waiting for a big panic to decision because something is going on.
Oh, yes. I think we've all made those mistakes early on, and no, it's not the best way to do it. So passion and mission make entrepreneurship possible, but passion alone doesn't fix the parts of business that feel heavy, like your website. And that's why we love Website Royalty Town Hall. Kim and Denise, they go and answer your Kajabi questions live on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. And they do this so working on your website does not feel so heavy, but feels possible again, one simple step at a time.
We really appreciate the fact we get to do this. Our businesses support this. And I think we've been through the struggles of, wanting to quit business altogether because the tech wasn't working. And I think that is a big part of our passion and our motivation is we don't want any business owners quitting because of that overwhelm. If you are in business, let us help you stay there. Let us help you stay in business.
Yeah, it's great because it's about Kajabi, but it's applicable to many websites. Mm-hmm. And what I love the most about it is you and Denise are coming to the table right after you've just learned it yourself and sharing all the fun things and ways that you can apply some of the techniques and tools that are in Kajabi.
I think that's a great point, Jalou, because there's so many things that we know already, but then we get this little taste of something that's new that they're putting out or this new thing. And we do get the privilege. We're Kajabi affiliate partners. So we get the privilege of bringing it to public. And I think that is exciting. So thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah. Well, one other thing I'm going to mention, there's also a private group for Website Royalty that you guys get to tattle on at the lives and say what you've done recently. And so if you are really interested in working on your website, go check them out again every Thursday on YouTube or wherever we're streaming live.
We promise we're not gossiping. We know if it's a question inside the private group, everybody else has probably got it too.
Everyone's gonna have the same question, right? There's no silly questions. Everyone's asking it in their heads. So
That's right.
Oh. Well, we've talked about CEO habits in your schedule, on your team, and your visibility, and even your website now. And there's one more piece that we need to show up before we can close today. And that is in the way you talk about business. Our final segment today is Princess Speak, which is everyone's favorite, I think. And it is sponsored by the My Sexy Business team and community.
Welcome to Princess Speak, where we translate what the heck does that mean into, "Ooh, I've got this," for entrepreneurs and business owners on the daily. Today's phrase is messy versus sloppy. Messy and sloppy are not the same. Messy shows progress. Things may look unfinished or a bit chaotic, but there's a clear effort, intention, and learning in motion. It's the natural look of growth and experimentation before polish. Sloppy, on the other hand, shows a lack of concern. Work is left incomplete or inconsistent because of carelessness, not creativity. Messy says, "I'm in motion and improving." Sloppy says, "I don't care enough to do this well." What would your clients say you are. I am Kim White, and this was Princess Speak, turning into handled. Keep your words simple, your message clear, and build that business like you mean it. I have to give a little credit where credit is due, and I have to giggle because the phrase today is messy versus sloppy. But I was having a fit. This is the true story. I was having a fit about what sloppy was, but I couldn't find the word. And Jill came up with the word sloppy, and it was perfect. And we've been using it for, I don't even know how long now, Jill, because it was important to find a way to share the difference. So thank you, Jill. And what say you about this topic?
Oh, yes. I was very concerned in the beginning when you let things that were messy go by as a part of the team. And I'm like, oh, but it's not perfect, being, one of those type A perfectionists. But then also realizing how messy can turn into sloppy when we get too comfortable with messy and don't want to improve on it and really try to bypass that and grow. So our messy can be messy when, like you said in the clip, when it's our first time doing something, when we're getting really creative at something. But then when we stop caring about those up levels and getting them better, it gets a little concerning when all of a sudden it's now sloppy. So that's what I have to say on that one.
Thank you for coming up with the right word for us.
I think, to me, the difference between messy and sloppy is a lot of what Jill had to say too. Messy is you're trying. It's not perfect. Sloppy would be if it's spelled. You have 25 spelling errors in your poster. That, to me, that would be sloppy. That you let it go out. Or if you're sitting on a live stream or some kind of event like this, and let's say you're extremely tired and you're sitting there and you're yawning the whole time and you're just like, oh yeah, oh, okay, you're not really putting your best foot forward. To me, that's sloppy. Messy would be you're maybe having trouble getting your words out, or you're not really sure what to say. But if you're sitting there yawning because you're so tired, to me, that's sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
We can give a great example from this show. I'm having terrible time saying regularly today, and it has nothing to do with being sloppy. It's just my tongue is tied for that word. I don't know what's up with that, but I like that analogy, Adam. Denise, what say you?
I have a lot to say, but I would say that most of us as entrepreneurs tend to be a little bit on the perfectionist side. And by saying that you're allowed to be messy, that's kind of like challenging your own inner perfectionist to say, you don't have to worry about those details all the time.
Yeah.
But it's not slapdash. It's not like somebody who doesn't care what somebody else sees and they're just rushing through it because they know they have to do it, but they don't really care. And so that's, two ends of the spectrum. And I think I'd like to be somewhere in the middle.
Well, done is better than perfect. And I will say that messy, when you start something, if you hide it away, you're not serving anyone. You're not helping anyone. So a lot of times we'll put something out very messily. We don't know how to up level it yet. And we'll get feedback so we can up level it. Yeah. That to me is super messy and super lovely, because at least you're serving someone, you're helping others. I think the sloppy part is true of what all of you said. When you're sloppy, it's a I don't care anymore attitude. And if you have that attitude, go get a good night's sleep, revisit your business, and realize you are the CEO and it matters, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for taking on this Princess Speak phrase, Kim, because it helps me stay not sloppy in my business. But I wanted to ask, because I think it's that time, do you have, Kim, a sexy challenge for us this week?
Oh, I do. Love it. So before we wrap up GME for today, I've got a simple challenge for you. Love the drum roll, just saying. So today's challenge is about CEO habits, which was the theme for the show. Simple, repeatable behaviors around planning, around money, and around focus that actually move your business forward. This is not about feeling motivated, y'all. Very big difference. It is about what you do on a normal day when no one is cheering you on. No pom-poms, no cheerleaders. It's just you and your business. So right now, choose one tiny CEO habit and commit to it for the next 7 days. This will take less than 3 minutes. It seems big when you start, but it's very little. So 3 minutes is promised in the beginning of the show to change how you run your business. First, scan your business for a behavior gap. Ask yourself, where am I acting like an overwhelmed freelancer when I need to be acting like a clear, calm CEO? I want you to look at 3 areas. Planning. Do I start my day knowing the 3 most important actions that move revenue or growth? Or do I just react to messages and notifications and emails? Is your inbox telling you what to do? Is it money? Do I look at my numbers regularly? I'm trying my best. Do I look at them often? Or do I avoid them until something feels urgent or scary or I'm panicking? Am I looking at the focus? So do I have even a small block of distraction-free time? We call that going to the airport. No notifications. You're really focused. Or am I constantly multitasking and context switching, going back and forth between stuff and losing so much time and so much focus? So are you going to choose door number 1, planning, door number 2, money, or door number 3, focus? I think that you can do this in a very simple way. Don't try to choose everything. Turn that one simple daily CEO habit into a habit. If you choose planning, your habit could be every weekday I write my top 3 revenue or growth actions before I open email or socials. If you chose money, your habit could be every weekday I open my dashboard or my spreadsheet. I look at one key number and I make one small decision from that information. If you choose focus, your habit could be every weekday I block 25 distraction-free minutes. I put my phone away, all the tabs are closed, turning off notifications, and I work on one needle-moving task only. So choose one of these or create your own in the same style with clear, simple, daily, behavior-based habits. So, sorry, ragweed is going large here. So now say your CEO habit in one sentence. For the next 7 days, my CEO habit is, say it out loud, y'all. Say it out loud. And if you really want power, write it down, but lock it in with this. I am building my business with habits, not just hopes. And my daily behavior is what creates my revenue. You guys want to make more money? Do this. This is a simple thing to do to make more money. So your CEO Habits Challenge is complete. If you want extra power for it, send your habit to me or post it publicly so at least one person knows what you decided to commit to. We are so glad you're on this adventure with us. It's very important to us to connect with you. I'll say that. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you next week on GME, and we love y'all.
Join us next Friday at 7 a.m. Central.
This is the team signing off for Good Morning Entrepreneurs.